Good day to my followers and to all who are going to be watching this clip. I plan to post this on LinkedIn in the near future. I decided to do a video analysis regarding the verdict of Karim Khan, prosecutor at the International Criminal Court, regarding the issued arrest warrants for both leaders of Hamas as well as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant of Israel. The verdict of Karim Khan is a huge success for Hamas, a huge success for all terrorist sympathizers, whose only aim seems to besmirch, discredit and isolate Israel within the international community. Now, before I'm going to talk a little bit about that, let me just analyze the verdict of Karim Khan, or more particular, the statement he disseminated upon the website of the ICC. Now, in his statement, he named 6 or 7 reasons why he decided to issue arrest warrants against Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant. These 6 and 7 mostly revolve around 2 concepts, or 2 ideas, if you will. 1, Israel is deliberately targeting Palestinian civilians. And 2, Israel is using starvation as a weapon in order to collectively punish residents within Gaza. These 2 ideas, if you will, can be easily debunked. For one, and I've said this countless times before, if Israel was serious about committing genocide inside Gaza, it would effectively do so within 24 hours. It has the military means, the military capacity and ability to utterly destroy Gaza within that time frame. Instead, we're looking at 40,000 casualties so far. These are casualties, which is a general number. This number is disseminated to us by the Ministry of Health, which is overseen by Hamas, the very terrorist organization Israel is fighting. So, despite the fact that these numbers are incredibly exaggerated, we must take into consideration that out of the 24 original Hamas battalions, only 5 or 6 are still intact, most of them residing within Rafah. Israel says it has approximately killed 15,000 and 20,000, between 15,000 and 20,000 Hamas combatants. And let's say again, these are confirmed kills. Let's also take into consideration the fact that Hamas has embedded itself within the civilian population. Most of its fighters use civilian attires when they engage in battle, as to blur the lines between killed combatants and civilian casualties. Still, if we take both these numbers, we must arrive at the conclusion that the combatant-civilian death ratio is 1 in 1 / 1.1 in / 1 / 1.5 at the worst, which according to any statistics regarding modern warfare and modern conflict, including the American operations inside Iraq, this ratio is nothing short of excellent. What Israel is doing is reshaping our idea regarding how urban warfare should be fought. The second statement of Karim Khan, or rather the second ideology behind his reasoning, is also very easily debunked. He says Israel is using starvation as a weapon of war. However, we have proof, statistical proof, that Israel has sent tens of thousands of trucks inside Gaza continuously ever since their operation started after 7th of October 2023. I've said it before and I say it again. The question is not whether humanitarian aid arrives within Gaza. The question is what happens with said humanitarian aid once it enters the Palestinian territories. All the statements disseminated by Karim Khan could have been easily debunked should his office have done their due diligence, done real, objective research, rather than copy-pasting accounts from both opposing sides. It seems to me that Karim Khan does not just want to uphold the law, as he so adamantly states, but that he wants to appease any voices, or at least the loudest of voices, who would potentially be critical of his verdict. This is not judgment. This is not justice. And it's definitely not justice for the Palestinian population. What Karim Khan has done is play right into the agenda of Hamas, of Iran, and any other radical Islamist terrorist organization, which have in their charter the destruction of Israel. Hamas has planned this conflict with Israel deeply and profoundly for a very long time. And everything that has happened since, it either anticipated or it took as acceptable risk. What Hamas is trying to do, above all, is besmirch and discredit Israel, with the aim to isolate the Jewish state to the furthest extent possible within the geopolitical landscape. Once Israel is isolated, they believe the Jewish state will be forced to cease their operations against them, allowing them to recover, regenerate, and create another 7 October once more. Hamas, unlike any other terrorist organization in history, has been successful in manipulating public perception and altering historical narratives, blurring the lines between reality and falsehood. And this isn't something of the last 6 months. This has been something that has been going on for a far longer time. It is something I've warned about in my book, Counterintelligence for Corporate Environments, back in 2018, when I tried to bring the discipline of counterintelligence to the corporate and civilian world. I said right then and there that we must invest not just in corporations, not just as government, but as societies as a whole, in proper counterintelligence practices, to counter propaganda, to counter indoctrination, and to let the truth prevail, to educate ourselves and arm ourselves against the manipulative attempts of sabotage executed by foreign hostile entities. Hamas is winning the psychological war. There's no denying that. The only thing that we need to do is open the newspapers. Whether we live in Holland, Europe, the US, England, France, Germany, the narrative seems to be quite the same. Heavily critical towards Israel. Students crying out in protest. Shouting for the liberation of a country that historically never even existed. If we allow this to continue, we will be faced with 2 doom scenarios. 1. Eventually, the lines between reality and falsehood will be blurred to such an extent that all historical narratives will be altered. No longer consisting of factual accounts, or at the very least, concrete accounts, credible according to experts, but rather accounts which favor those with the loudest of voices, which favor those who don't wish to be reminded of the complex intricacies of human history. The second doom scenario is that those foreign agents, those foreign entities who wish to manipulate our public perception will divide and destabilize Western societies even more, making us divided, frail and vulnerable in the face of our enemies. Do I believe that the Palestinian state should be erected? Eventually. Of course I do. I wish nothing more. It would mean a great thing for the region. It would mean a great thing for geopolitical stability in general. However, if the Palestinian people are to have any hope of a state of their own, Hamas, its overlords, and anything or anyone associated with them need to be eradicated and removed from Palestinian society. Only then will the Palestinians have a true chance at prosperity, wealth, and yes, Karim Khan, at real justice. This is all that I wanted to share with you today. If any of you wish to send me a message regarding these topics, or wish to engage with me in some sort of discussion, please feel free to DM me on LinkedIn, because that's where I'm most active generally. You can also comment underneath one of the posts and articles that I've disseminated upon the platform. Although I have to say I'm not a big fan of reacting in the comment section. So a DM is definitely the right way to go. I thank you very much for your time. I hope I've given you some food for thought. And I hope that you will see, watch and read some of my other content that I will post upon this platform. I thank you very much and have a good evening. Thank you.